You do anything in the world to gain a reputation. As soon as you have one, you seem to want to throw it away. Throw it away. It is silly for you. It is silly of you, for there is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. It is silly of you, for there is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about. A portrait like this would set you far above all the young men in England, and make the old men quite jealous. If old men are ever capable of any emotion. 就啊这 I know you will laugh at me, he replied, but I really can't exhibit exhibit it exhibit it exhibit it. I have put too much of myself into it. Lord Henry stretched himself out on the divan and laughed. Yes, I knew you would, but it is quite true. All the same, it is quite true. All the same, too much of yourself in it. Upon my word, Basil, I didn't know you were so vain, and I really can't see any resemblance between you with your rugged, hold on, with your rugged, strong face and your cool back hair, with your rugged, strong face and your cool black hair, cool, cool, cool black hair, and its young Adonis, who looks as if he was made out of ivory and rose leaves. Why, my dear Basil, he is a narcissus. He is a narcissus, and you will, of course, you have an inte- intellectual expression and all that. 啊，怎么可以这样说呀？ Upon my word, upon my word, Basil, I didn't know you were so vain. And I really can't see any resemblance between you with your rushed, strong face. Rugged. And I really can't see any resemblance between you with your rugged, strong face and your coal black hair, and this young Adonis who looks as if he was made out of ivory and rose leaves. Who looks as and this young Adonis idleness. Oh, it is young idleness who looks as if he was made out of, made out of, made out of. It was made out of ivory and rose leaves. Why, my dear Russell, he is a narcissus, and you will, of course, you have an intellectual expression and all that, but beauty, real beauty, ends where intellectual expression begins. But beauty, real beauty, ends where an intellectual expression begins. Intellect is in itself a mode of exaggeration, 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 exaggeration. Intellect is in itself a mode of exaggeration, and destroys the harmony of any face. The moment one sits down to think, one becomes all nose. One becomes all nose, or all forehead, or something horrid. Horrid, horrid, or intellect is in itself a mode of exaggeration and destroys the harmony of any face. The moment one sits down to think, one becomes all nose, or all forehead, or something horrid, something, something, thing, something, something, something horrid. Look at a successful man in any of the learned, learned, learned professions. How perfectly hidden they are. How perfectly hidden they are. They are. How perfectly highness, highest, hideous. How per, perfectly, how perfectly hideous they are. Except, of course, in the church, 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 in the church. But then, but, but then, in the church, they don't think. A bishop keeps on saying at the a, bi- a bishop a bishop keeps saying at the age of 80 keeps saying at the age of 80 what he was told to say when he was a boy of 18, and as a natural consequence he always looks absolutely delightful. He always looks absolutely delightful. But then in the church they don't think. A bishop keep on saying at the age of 80 what he was told to say when he was a boy of 18. And as a natural consequence, He always looked absolutely delightful. Your your mysterious young friend, whose name you have never told me, but whose picture really fascinates me. Never thinks. Your your mysterious, mysterious. Your mysterious young friend, whose name you have never told me, but whose picture really fascinates me. Never thinks. I feel quite sure of it. Sure of that. He's some brightness, beautiful creature. He's some brandless, beautiful creature who should be always here in winter when we have no flowers to look at. To me, and always here in summer when we want something to cheer our intelligence, intelligence. Intelligence. To chill our intelligence. He's some breathless, beautiful creature. He's some he's some brightness, brightness. He's some brightest, beautiful creature who should be always here in winter when we have no flowers to look at, and always here in summer when we want something to cheer our intelligence. Don't flatter yourself. Don't flatter yourself. Don't flatter yourself. Flatter. Flatter yourself, Basil. You are not in the least like him. You are not in the least like him. You don't understand me, Harry. 不是 Henry 吗？你是 Harry. You don't understand me, Henry. Answered the artist. Answered the artist. Answered the artist. Answered the artist. Of course, I'm not like him. Of course, I'm not like him. I know that perfectly well. I know that perfectly well. Indeed, I should be sorry to look at him. Look like him. You shrug your shoulders? You shrug your shoulders? I'm telling you the truth. There is a fatality about all physical, intellectual distinction. There is a fatality. It's a fatality. There is a fatality about an all physical and intellectual distinction. The sort of fatality that seems to talk through history and falter, faltering steps of kings. It is better not to be different from one's fellows, not to be different from one's fellows. The ugly and the stupid have the best of it in this world. The ugly and the stupid have the best of it in this world. They can see it at their ease and gap at the play. If they know nothing of victory, they are at least spared the knowledge of defeat. They live as well. They live as we all should live, undisturbed, undisturbed, un, undis, disturbed, undisturbed, undisturbed, indifferent, and without disquiet. They neither bring ruin upon others, nor ever receive it from alien hands. Receive it from alien hands. Your rank and wealth, Henry, Henry, my brands, such as they are my art, whatever it may be worth. Dorian Gray's good looks, we shall all suffer for what the gods have given us. Suffer terribly. Dorian Gray? Is that his name? Asked Lord Henry, walking across the studio towards Basil Hallward. Yes, this is his name. That is his name. I didn't intend to tell it to you, but why not? 结束啦。我知道你会嘲笑我的，他回应道。但我真不想将画送去公开展览。我在这幅画里倾注了太多的自我。勋爵在长发纱里伸了一下懒腰，大笑。我知道你不会错过这个嘲笑我的机会，但尽管如此，我仍实话实说。倾注了太多的自我在里面，我发誓，亲爱的巴兹尔，我不知道你还如此虚荣。我实在看不出来你和画像之间有何相似之处。你面孔粗糙僵硬，头发黑得像煤，而这个年轻的阿多尼斯，他看起来像是用象牙和玫瑰叶制成的。啊，我亲爱的巴兹尔，他是纳克索斯，而你，好吧，当然你也有理智的神情以及诸如此类的东西。但是美，真正的美，恰恰终结于理智神情出现的那一刻。理智本身就是一种夸张的形式，会破坏面部的和谐。人一旦坐下来思考，就变得只有鼻子或者只有额头，或者某种可怕的东西。看看那些需要高深学识的行业中的成功人士吧，他们真是让人极其厌恶。不过在教堂里的神职人员例外，因为他们不用动脑筋。一位80岁的主教一直说着他18岁时人们教他说的话，结果他自然而然总是令人极其愉悦。你那神秘的年轻友人，你从未告诉我他的名字，但他的画像可真令我神魂颠倒。他从不思考。对此我深信不疑，他就是相貌迷人、头脑空白的那一类傻白甜儿。冬天我们无花可看，他就该一直待在这儿。夏天也要，夏天我们需要某种东西来清醒我们的理智。别太自鸣得意了，巴兹尔，你跟他可是一点儿也不像。你并不了解我，哈利。你并不了解我 ，Nickname。艺术家回答说：“当然，我并不像他，这点我非常明白。说实话，若我像他，反而让我遗憾了。你为何耸肩？我说的可都是实话。才貌超群者往往背负宿命的悲哀。纵观历史，这种宿命总是紧跟帝王蹒跚的步伐。 我们最好不要与自己的同类有别。丑陋的和愚蠢的人在世间往往占得先机，他们可随心而作，看戏时大张嘴。如果他们对成功一无所知，那么他们也就不知失败的痛苦。他们过着我们所有人都应该过的那种生活，没有烦扰，平庸无奇，心平气和。他们既不会毁灭别人，也不会被别人毁灭。哈利，你的地位和财富，我的才智，虽然价值不大，我的艺术，不论它们价值几何，道林格雷好看的容貌，这些皆为老天所赐，我们都得为此付出代价，可怕的代价。道林格雷，这个是他的名字啊？亨利问道。他穿过画室，走到巴兹尔、霍华德面前。对，是他的名字，我们并没打算告诉你的。为什么不？结束。